everybody, this is Asantiwa, and we are here at Jandro's on St. Mary's, and this is my friend Tiffany. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Tiffany.
All right, she introduced herself. We're going to do some head wrap tutorials tonight. Obviously, it's a little bit different. We're trying something different. We're going to also do a little short interview. And today's question, maybe you can ask yourself, is going to be, what does the head wrap mean to you? And then I've got a few other questions to ask, but that's the main one. What does the head wrap and its whole meaning, or does it signify anything for you? Hey everybody, how you doing? So we're back, and I think I want to call this, because this is the first one, interviews with the head wrapping queens. All right, got one queen here, and you got your queen here, and I just have a couple of questions that I want to ask. This time. The first one, because head wraps do mean a lot to me. They have a couple of different meanings, but they're very symbolic. And I wanted to ask for this month, my question to the different interviewees was going to be, what does the head wrap mean to you? And a few other questions. So my first one, Tiffany, today is, what, if anything, does the head wrap symbolize for you?
Well, for me, the head wrap symbolizes respect and obedience to Torah. There's different levels of consciousness and different roads of consciousness, and for me, that road is keeping the Torah. Believing the Torah is it's the Bible. It's what people believe is basically the law of the Bible, the 366 books of, the laws of the Bible. That's basically what it symbolizes for me, is keeping Torah.
So I'll answer the same question, and that's always, it tends to be a, not a battle, but you don't know. Everybody has different reasonings, for what it symbolizes. Sometimes it's just to wear something on their head. For myself, it has a spiritual meaning, I guess. Because I feel like your crown, it's like a crown, and it's your glory, excuse me. So, you don't want everybody to see your hair, not alone just touch it. I personally don't want everybody to see my hair. You're lucky, or you're a friend, or you're, family, if you do see my hair. I know I have the little tops, but for the most part, I always have my hair wrapped when you see me, and that's what it symbolizes. But it also, for myself, is just, I love the style, and my people are cute, and they're fly all the time. And when I learned where the wraps came from, I really liked it. It gave me an even more sense of pride also. So it has a lot to do with pride. Maybe first thing is pride, because I have a lot of it. And which is okay to be prideful in your culture. You're not putting anybody else down. You're just being proud of who you are and your family and your lineage and generations to come. So that's what it means for myself. Yes.
Can I just add that regardless of what the level of consciousness is that you have and your reasoning for it, that's one thing that I believe we all agree on. It's the pride in it all. The pride, because regardless of your reasoning, when you wear it, you have a sort of sense of, that pretty much other people are looking at you. And that they're looking at you because you're standing out because of this beautiful print that you have on your head, this vibrant color that you're wearing on your head. So for all of us, regardless of the deep spiritual meaning that we all have, it all comes back to the same point, and this is what brings us all together. It's the pride in it all. So I just wanted to add that.
See, that's my friend, because that's pretty much what I was, trying to get to, and which is very true. We all have different reasonings, but it still comes back to they're really cute. They're African wax. Now, they're African wax prints, y'all. Not that's what makes them unique and different. That's why they kind of stand up higher, or they're a little stiff, is because they're African wax prints. But I bet you didn't know they're not actually made in Africa. Now, I was blown away by that, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So they're not African prints. But actually, just a quick short story, I believe it was the Dutch, Holland. So basically, England, that area, they started making those prints long time ago, years and years back, but nobody there liked them. And so when they were doing their traveling and whatnot, they had them, because, you know, they traded different things. So they brought them over to Africa with them, whatever they were doing there. And they noticed that the Africans liked the fabrics. So that was the country or the industry that they could make them for, and they've been making them for generations ever since. So they are, and Africans and Pan-Africans like myself and my sister here have embraced them as their own, because we're really the only culture who wear them, and which is not a problem with others do, you know, but that's another day, the culture appropriation. But I believe that can go two ways. I believe as long as you're giving credit where credit's due, that's fine. I love it when you can appreciate other cultures, because I do. It just, on another level, when you don't appreciate where it came from, that's where it's different, or where the line is drawn. How long have you been wrapping your hair? That's the question. Myself, I've been wrapping mine for about a year. For about 3 years now. And I started, and then the reason why you started. So I started because I went natural. I cut all my hair off, all of the all of the perm that I was using at the moment. And I didn't know how, honestly. I didn't know how to do my own hair. How it grows, you know, our natural state. I didn't know how to do it. I just knew how to slap some stuff in there, some paste, and to make it straight. So I didn't know what products to use, and I believe that that wasn't my story. I think that's pretty much all of ours who don't know, you know, who went from the, you know, getting perms or wearing weave or whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a process. We're all united. We're all sisters. We all started from somewhere. I used to wear tracks, so I'm not hating on none of that. This is just where I decided to go on my journey. Everybody has their own journey. And so mine started when I went natural. I didn't know how to do it. So technically, I was just trying to wrap it up to get it out the way. But I appreciated, you know, the look and the African wax prints. And so, but now, you know, I'll rock my locks out all day, any day. I love my hair now. And I think that's also spiritual, or really was a big step, because I didn't necessarily love my hair. Now I do, but I love the wraps too, and what it symbolizes. So, what about you?
It was somewhat similar, yeah. My reasoning for starting to wrap, I went from relaxed hair to natural hair, and most of the time I was embarrassed by it. I didn't like the twists. I felt like I look like a little wannabe gangster, you know, like I didn't like it. So I would wrap it, and I would get so many compliments. And then one day I decided to wear a twist out with my hair wrapped, and I got even more compliments. So it became like, you know, this is part of me. It's not only is it part of me, but it accessorizes me. It gives me sort of a glow. To me, I feel like when my hair is wrapped, I feel like I stand out more. I feel like I'm walking taller. I feel like I'm prouder. I feel like there's no stopping me. And I told her a story where I work at my job. They said that we couldn't wear our hair wrapped. And I told them, look, I have to wear my hair wrapped. This is part of my culture. It's not a religious thing, anything like that, but it's not a disrespectful thing to anyone's religion or anyone else's culture, but this is just how I believe, and this is how I live my life. So they told me that I was allowed to wear it. Well, one of the trainers told me, I started noticing that some of the other sisters started wearing their hair wrapped, and one of the trainers told me, the only reason y'all want to wear your hair wrapped is because you just don't feel like combing your hair. And I told him that is absolutely not true. And it made me upset, because I thought back to where there was a point in time where I was ashamed, and that's the reason that I wore it. But now that I've grown and I've become to love not just myself, but my hair and my wrapped hair, now it's like I felt very offended to hear someone else call out what I really felt about myself in the beginning. So I basically let him know, no, that's not at all the truth. It's a cultural thing. You know, some people will accept it, some people will understand it, others won't. Apparently, you don't understand it. So I wasn't going to get too deep into it with him because apparently he didn't understand it and it wasn't for him to understand. But nevertheless, I realized, exactly. But nevertheless, I realized, you know, this is a part of me. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I have 3 beautiful daughters. All 3 of them are being raised to rap. All 3 of them. All 3 of them are being taught, exactly. All 3 of them are being taught the beauty in it. Your hair is beautiful. Your hair wrapped is beautiful. Your hair unwrapped is beautiful. However you decide to wear it, that is your glory, and you can do that. And so it's just the joy in being able to teach my daughters, because I wasn't taught the beauty in having wrapped hair. You know, I had the permed pigtails and the barrettes on the end and the Easter perms and the Christmas perm and the pressing comb, and you had to wear it like that. The burnt edges, all of that. But now I know to love my hair, so yes.
All right, so lastly, I did have one more. I wanted to say, there's sometimes a few things that you may hear, or I just want to hear what the common things that you've heard as far as, you gave us an example, what that man said at the job, but, you know, a negative way. Something that I've heard was basically everybody assumed that you have to be Muslim, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Let me clear it up. Be Muslim or basically, you know, to have a head wrap. And when there's different ways that the women of those cultures wear their head wraps. We're not the only culture that does head wrapping, but there's symbolism and there's different ways that they wear theirs, if you want to say. And this is not at all wrapped how the Muslims, you know, like to wrap their hair. And one more I've heard, let me see. The show's starting, so I better hurry up. So that's the only one I'm going to give you this time, but that's commonly misconception. You have another one? That's the same. That's it. All right. Well, thank you. This was the first show. I might have to do a little tweaking because I feel like I'm a little shy, but maybe not. But thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate it. And we're trying to do this new. For the rest of the month, I'll have different, again, interviewees coming on, and I'll be asking the same questions just to see, because I know it can be different per person. So peace. Y'all have a good night.